Good evening. Hello. This is E2 here. Welcome back to Babylon. How are you guys doing? It's so good to see everybody back again. Did you guys have a good day? Raise your hand if you helped out with any chores today. I did. I try to teach my children to do chores. Sometimes it's hard to get my son to cooperate, but I try. So I'm really proud of everybody who did chores today. But now it's time to sing and dance and have a break from the work of the day and just enjoy praising the Lord together. Now, before we begin that though, who can tell me, last night I announced, and those who've been in church have heard the announcement of where we're raising money for missions of what country? Yes, Emma? We're training pastors in what country? India, you're right. So I am happy to announce we have raised $842 so far. So King Nebuchadnezzar is definitely going to get his head shaved. But you know what? I think that's going to happen tomorrow night. I think that we should really try to meet $1,000. Do you think we could make $1,000? I think so. All right, I think we just said hair and beard. So now, wait, do you have a mustache? Yeah, so if we do 1,000, we do the mustache. If otherwise, you have to keep the mustache. We'll see what happens, but no, don't forget, bring some money, okay, and put it in the jar back there. All right, now also one other thing to remember is that I'm going to ask my helpers to come forward for our songs, but we're going to be watching to see who's really participating and singing along and doing the motions, because we're going to give out a prize again at the end of the closing service before we leave tonight. Okay, the first one we're going to do is thankful, so everybody just stand where you are, and you can do the motions from your seats.
I like to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be. I like to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be thankful. I want to be
in there?
Come thou Almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise Father all glorious, for all victorious, come to reign over us, Ancient of Days. Come thou Almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise Father all glorious, for all victorious, come to reign over us, Ancient of Days. Come thou Almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise Father all glorious, for all victorious, come to reign over us, Ancient of Days. Come thou Almighty King, help us thy name to sing, help us to praise Father all glorious, for all victorious, come to reign over us, Ancient of Days.
Belshazzar the king made a great feast for 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine in the presence of the 1,000. While he tasted the wine, Belshazzar gave the command to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father, Nebuchadnezzar, had taken from the temple which had been in Jerusalem, that the king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines might drink from them. Then they brought the gold vessels that had been taken from the temple of the house of God, which had been in Jerusalem, and the king and his lords, his wives, and his concubines drank from them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and silver, bronze and iron, wood and stone. In the same hour, the fingers of a man's hand appeared and wrote opposite the lampstand on the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his hips were loosened, and his knees knocked against each other. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers.
Whoever is able to read this writing and give me the interpretation shall be dressed in purple, a gold chain around his neck, and made third in the entire kingdom.
Now all the king's wise men came, but they could not read the writing or make known to the king its interpretation. Then King Belshazzar was greatly troubled, His countenance was changed, and his lords were astonished.
O King, live forever. Do not let your thoughts trouble you, nor let your countenance change. For there is a man in your kingdom in whom the Spirit of the Holy God. And in the days of your father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him. And King Nebuchadnezzar, your father the king, made him chief of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. Now let Daniel be called, and he will give the interpretation.
Are you that Daniel that my father brought from Judah? I understand that you have wisdom and understanding and are able to interpret enigmas and solve riddles. Now these wise men and Chaldeans were asked to solve this problem of what is written here, but they were not able to solve it. If you, Daniel, are able to read this writing and give me its interpretation, you shall be clothed in purple, a gold chain put around your neck, and made third in the entire kingdom.
Let your gifts speak for yourself, and give your rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing and give the interpretation. This is the inscription. Many, many, tekel, upharsin. Many. God has numbered your kingdom and has finished it. Tekel, you have been weighed in the balances and have been found wanting. Perez, God has divided your kingdom and has given it to the Medes and Persians.
Then Belshazzar gave the command, and they clothed Daniel with purple and put a chain of gold around his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. That very night, Belshazzar, king of the Chaldeans, was slain, and Darius the Mede received the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
Have a time of signing t-shirts again because we have some new characters that are going to meet you out there today. But before you go, we do want to make one announcement that the Palace Playground is actually going to be inside today in the hallway by the Sunday school rooms. So instead of going outside to the playground, we're going to be inside in the hallway by the Sunday school rooms. Okay, you can be dismissed and go back and find signatures that you haven't got.